everybody. Welcome to Bubbles with Bethany. I'm so excited that you're all here. Happy Thursday, or as I always call it, Bubbles Day. I'm really excited you're here, and you guys are in for a treat because today we have kind of a big deal on with us today. Uh, Justin Stamper is not only an amazing real estate investor, he's also a reality star, reality TV star. He is on the lookout for raw land. He does zombie flips. He's going to tell us all about those things. And of course, he's going to tell us about the things that we all came here to talk about, which is going to be conscious wealth. Cheers
Oh,
to you for being here.
yay.
He's just going to
Yeah,
drink
I'm
straight from
so
the
happy
bottle
you
because
guys are
that's
here.
how it is.
Yeah. You're like, we're gonna talk about things we care about. Champagne. Oh,
Champagne is one of those things. And I have my what I'm calling my health tonic, which is
okay.
champagne with kombucha in it.
Nice. I just pulled this out of my cellar. It's a cool, like Slovenian sparkling wine that
Oh,
is
wow.
just like odd. How often do you think like Eastern Europe and bubbles? So I thought it would be cool to drink something interesting and hang out with some interesting people tonight.
Okay, and
So
you also said something that kind of got me a little excited, which is out of my cellar. Can we
yeah,
talk about this? Okay,
yeah.
like let's talk about
Um,
this for a second.
Yeah, I like wine and I feel like I'm an adult, so I shouldn't run out of my vices. So I just started buying wine by the case because nothing's more annoying than when it's like midnight, you have friends over and they're like, grab another bottle, and you're like, oh, we only had 4 bottles of wine. Like, so I found because I host so much that that was just happening to me. So like as I got older, I was like, I'm an adult now. So I don't want to ask people if they can be like, hey man, do you know where I can get some weed? Nowadays, I'm like, hey, I'll just take a pound. Let's just make it easy. Put it in the safe. I'll take 100 bottles of wine. Give me 10 cases. And yeah, if you want to be a good host, you got to be supplied. So I'm at my home in Orlando, and here I typically keep about 500 bottles on me. I got a humidor of cigars inside with probably 700 sticks in it, and then just whatever else you want, whether it's bourbon, gin, vodka. I just try to be a good host.
Everyone's already on their way over to your house right now.
Yeah, please come through. I'm like just outside the city. I love living here. The weather's so nice. It's like 75, and Marley girl and I are just sitting outside right now. Super excited
Yes,
to
Marley girl.
hanging with
I
everybody
love
here.
your post with Marley. That makes me happy.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, it's super cool. But
Very
yeah, so
exciting.
that's kind of how that started. And yeah, man, life is short. I just like to enjoy the little things like firing up a cigar, talking real estate with y'all, and enjoying life. It doesn't have to be any more complicated than that.
I
Once you taste like good olive oil for the first time, you're like, yo, it's the simple things in life, dude.
right. That's right.
Save that complicated shit for
That
somebody.
was like the most adult thing anyone's ever said, which is once you've tasted good olive oil. In my 20s, I would have been like, what? Like, isn't it all canola oil?
Yeah.
Because that's what's cheap.
And it opens your eyes once you finally try the goods.
It's
Um,
true. It's true. I got a little bit of guff. I did a post about that where it sounded a little snottier than once you've tried good olive oil, which is that I don't fly anything but first class for that reason. Because once you've done that, you're like, fuck anything else.
Mm, yeah. Yeah, I feel you. See, well, but I don't though, because I rarely fly first class. Like I'm the cat that's like, what credit card can I get that'll bump me up to upgrade so that I don't have to do that because I think I just had to work way too hard to get this far that I'm like, bro, $1,000 for a 2-hour flight? I think I'll
Not for
take
two, that's okay. To be fair, I don't usually do that for the really short flights. Like I'm going up to Napa in a couple weeks
well,
and we're just flying Southwest, like whatever.
give me a
Um,
$5 Xanax, dude. I'm Gucci. Like $1,000 seat. Yo,
when I'm flying, oh, so if I'm flying overseas, definitely I need the lay flat. And my daughter takes advantage of that fully because she's an only child and I'm divorced. So
yeah,
that's it's like she gets to fly with me. So
no
uh
doubt.
so
Yeah,
we
I bought, it's funny enough that we're talking about this. I bought a first class ticket with miles because we had like 1 million miles with American Express from like all of our rehab spends. And I just canceled it today because Marley girl unfortunately got test results I don't love. And she can't see
Oh,
the specialist for 2 weeks. And I was supposed to be in Europe for a month. I was supposed to fly to Paris on Sunday and then get back late May. And the specialist was like, I can either see you May 14th or June 20th. And I was like, nope. I'm not waiting until June 20th, dude. Marley's way too important. So I
yeah,
bailed on the flights today, but it's all good. Europe will still be there, dude.
it will be. And I would have done the same thing. I get it, man.
Yeah, dude. And it's all good because I've got like a couple rehabs going and closings that are getting postponed and it's a nightmare. And I also personally would rather just get that out of there because what's the point of vacation if it's not really vacation? You're just stressed out about projects the entire time.
Right. Yes. And that's, yeah, that's definitely no fun to be dealing with.
Yeah.
Well, okay. So you've talked a little bit about your rehabs, and we talked a little bit, just very briefly, that you have this show. But from what people don't know about you, maybe let's talk about that. What would you say, Justin, is your unique superpower?
Hmm. Probably. So my 16 personality type is was like ENFTP, the campaigner.
Me too.
And that is having extreme loyalty and compassion and empathy for people. And I think that's my superpower. It's just there have been so many like weird serendipitous moments in my life, whether it's like we can get really dark with it, like preventing a couple suicides that were like seconds away from happening, or I prevented a mass shooting one time by running. Well, I don't know how it would have played out, but I ran into the guy as he was entering. Either way, we don't have to get into the dark stuff, but there's been like a couple things where like just my ability to gauge people and how they're feeling and then like match that energy and kind of talk them off of a ledge or boost them up and empower them. I think that's my superpower because like I said, there's been like a couple and we don't have to dive into it, but a couple moments where it's like, whoa,
Oh, we
I've kind of
can.
like questioned the
If you
idea.
want to.
Yeah, well, I don't know. I mean, it's just dark, but like
No,
I've questioned the idea of like God my entire life, not in the sense of like not real versus real, but more so like, what does life mean? There's got to be like, does anybody have some answers? And then every time something like that happens, I'm like, damn, I think there is kind of like there's something going on behind the scenes, and it just like reinforces my belief that such a grand creator would never build a stairwell to nowhere. And I really enjoy moments like that because they can be super impactful and meaningful. But everything has its cost though, because like while I might be really great at connecting with people and sharing and hosting and empowering, I also have like crazy ADD that gets to the point of like my disorganization gets so wild that I literally have to like have a personal assistant and be like, can you please just come to my house and like help me get organized with my
Mhm.
life? And it becomes like paralyzing. So like everything has its cost, everything's a trade-off in life. Where like my business partner is like religiously organized and has so many of those strengths, which is why he makes a good business partner because he doesn't want to do the dinners and the late nights with like clients or our team or whoever. But he's definitely up at like 5:30 in the morning working on our business. Where I might have just rolled in at 2. Last night I got back from being with like Pace and Jamil at the
Mhm.
Squad Up event. By the time I got home from the after party last night, it was 4:15 in the morning. My business partner literally is waking up in an hour and I'm just rolling in. So it's
Yeah.
nice to have like that synergy because if not, we'd be fucked, like
Yeah. Well,
I
it's always good to have kind of your OP, right? The person that does the different stuff. It's not in your
yeah.
lane. that does all the different stuff. Okay, I have a question. So you talked about needing to have the personal assistant help you with stuff because of ADHD or for whatever reason. What's your impossible task? I mean, I'm like you, and so I have the one, and I know what mine is. What's your impossible task? Like, no matter what, it's just not fucking happening.
Ooh, okay. It's easy for me. Social media, dude. Social media, the internet, things like that. Like, I'm just like, no, I'm just not doing it. Like, okay, it's actually just being on my phone. I just like don't enjoy my phone. Nothing about my phone brings me pleasure. Like, you're never gonna catch me playing a game. You're rarely gonna catch me like researching something I like. Like, everything that I associate with my phone is pretty much a negative association. It's either like chaos, something going wrong, somebody needing money from me, or like or like the beast of social media. And it drives A&E crazy. They're like, we need you to post about like new episodes, and I'm like, bro, I don't even know how to log on Twitter, so no, I'm not doing it. Like,
That's why you
hire
need a
me
social
somebody to do
media
that.
manager.
Yeah, no, I mean I do, but every time I get a quote for it, they're like, "Yeah, we'll manage your social media for 5 grand a month," and I'm like,
Oh, hey,
"No, bro,
so not to
what?"
be like totally weird about it, Jade just went off. So Jade's my social media manager and she can hook you up. She does a great job.
Yeah,
Look at my
no
page.
doubt. Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's my impossible. Like, if you want me to do something on my phone that's not like FaceTiming or having a conversation, you're
I
just
feel like
never gonna
that
convince
is
me.
a very beneficial, impossible task, though. Like, how much time do we all lose getting sucked into our phones? I cannot tell you. I'll sit down and if I'm like, I can't even go on TikTok anymore because I'll just go down a rabbit hole. Like, oh, that's funny. Oh, that's funny. And now I'm almost my For You page is so fucked up now. They're like,
No doubt.
nobody should look at my For You page because they're like, what have you been watching on here? So crazy. But I think that's a blessing though that that's your thing.
Kind of, but also, how many stages does it keep me off of? How many speaking events does it prevent? Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah,
everything
but
has
for
its
you,
cost.
that honestly, I gotta tell you, Justin, that's just a simple OP. That's another person.
Yeah,
That's you can offload that completely and have them manage that completely.
yeah, for
And
sure.
I highly recommend that because if you don't love it, it is going to be important for you because you should be out there. Like you're charismatic and you have important things to say. You should be out there.
Yeah, for sure.
That's what you want to be doing, right?
And it's always silly when some like 22-year-old dork who has a bunch of followers is giving horrible advice because they've done like 10 transactions and think they're an expert. And then meanwhile you have the guys like me and you where it like wasn't our generation to be the like to have an iPhone in your hand. Like, I I had graduated high school by the time the iPhone came out. Like, I was an adult in the world before the iPhone was out. So it's just like not my generation. And it's ironic because I've done over 1,000 transactions and practice almost all asset classes of real estate and actually own all asset classes of real estate where like I said, we were just at like the sub 2 event. You've got 22-year-olds that have done maybe like 5 deals and they're like selling coaching programs
Yeah.
and they're getting traction because they have so many like Instagram followers. And you're just like, oh my God, what's
It's
happening?
maddening. I struggle with
What's
this
happening?
too because I'm like, I don't have a lot of followers. It's not a thing I've ever focused on until literally just recently.
Yeah,
And I focused on it only because I'm like, okay, you want to fucking listen to me? I guess I need some followers so you'll listen to me, right?
yeah,
And it's so frustrating because it's like you recognize that first of all I could go buy them if I wanted to, I guess. I
yeah.
mean
But
that so
that's
that
not real.
right, it's not real. And so that's dumb. So what does that mean, right?
Yeah.
It's really frustrating actually. I talk to Jade about this all the time. I'm like, oh my God. Because then I think, how many stages am I not getting on?
Hmm.
Somebody out there with 150, 200, 500,000 followers, right? And I'm like, yeah, but I'm kind of busy running my business, man.
Yeah, and you and I are stubborn like that. Like, I'm always going to be the guy that says those that can't coach. Like, I don't care. If you're such a big dog and you figured out the magic bullet of success, why are you selling it to me for 99 bucks a month, bro? Get the fuck out of here. God, I've been in this game too long to like
I
ever be
first of all, I love that you called us the same generation. That makes me happy.
I got
Um,
you, bro.
yeah, I'm gonna say it. I am gonna say it. I said I wasn't gonna say it, but I am. So y'all should go look at our posts. And David, I'm with you, man. Yes, pagers were for drug dealers. And that's what it was when we were in high school. Like, you have a pager? What are you like? Yeah, you had to be a
Yeah,
drug dealer. And back then, weed was still considered a drug. So,
back
and
then
that's
we were dealers. So
usually what it was. That's right.
you want to build a house, you got to start with a brick, dude. It's just how it goes. Like, I didn't come from money, bro. It was a grind to get here. Like I respect all hustles.
Hey, there you go.
Yeah. It got to the point where zombie house flipping was like, dude, you gotta stop. And I'm like, yeah, but like it's like the fun money. And I was like,
Come on, it's fun. It's fun. I have uh, I want all of you to go look at the post for announcing this bubbles tonight with the photo of Justin and me. And there's one of just like the regular photos that's beautiful that Jade puts together that's got the nice whatever. And then there's just a selfie that we took when I was in Orlando for the Bigger Pockets conference, right? And some nice lady posted on there asking if I was his mom. So that was fun day.
savage.
I have a screenshot. I don't know if I can show you. I have a screenshot where I screenshot it and I sent it to Jade. I'm gonna show you because I have to admit, like you can tell I don't do a lot of social media because stuff still hurts my feelings, right?
Yep.
And so I apparently need to get over that and figure my shit out. But
Yeah, you just got to do your best to make it a one-way street.
can y'all
Output
see
only.
that? That was what I sent to Jade. I
No, we
circled
can't
the
see it.
comment. You can't see
Oh,
it. Circled it. Fuck her.
all good.
Oh, good. So I love that you just said our generation.
Yeah, I
Good.
don't know. My like 5-year-old knows how to like unlock my phone and she's like, Daddy, let me play some game. I'm like, absolutely not. Give that back. No. But for
No.
real, she knows how to work an iPad better than I do. And I'm also like not an iPad parent. I'm like vehement against it. I don't let my daughter use the iPad when we're out at dinner. I don't let her use it before bed. She gets 1 hour a day and it's timed and then it literally shuts down. And like obviously monitoring all the content whatever, but she's a whiz, dude. Like she's just bum, 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 bum. I'm like,
Yeah,
oh my
it's like parents
god,
are just
this
like
is
born with it. It's so weird. Like, where did that even come from?
yeah. And like I don't know, my mom like professionally raises kids. She's like a professional nanny for like rich people or whatever in Denver. And she's like, sweetie, did you know that their eyeballs will not develop correctly if you let them look at screens until they're like 4 or 5? So literally my daughter wasn't even allowed to like touch and play with screens until just last year. And she's still a whiz with it, dude. It's crazy.
Oh man. Yeah, they're so smart. It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's but you're right. It's a lot. It's a lot to take in for kids. My daughter's 16 and I definitely have to watch what she sees and what goes on. Snapchat's the worst, I think. And I'm not really on Snapchat, so then I sound like the old lady that's like, oh, I don't get the snip crack.
Get off there.
Yeah.
What are you kids doing on there?
Yeah, me and one of the other moms tease her and we call it snip crack. And she was just like, oh my God.
No doubt.
I'm embarrassing.
Yeah, I mean, I get it, but I also remember what I was up to when I was 16, so I would be very afraid of something that literally covers up the paper trail of what you're up to as like a default setting.
Right.
Oh,
Yeah. Like that's
yeah,
great for kids. Okay.
yeah.
And
Well, like
I've
when
known kids who've
Snapchat
gotten,
when Snapchat had best friends and you could see people's best friends, that just showed you who was fucking. That's it. Like honestly, like you just looked at
I don't
best.
want to hear that. My daughter has a best friend list.
Yeah. And if a dude is the top one, that's just the person she's sending nudes to the most. Like, let's be for real, you know?
No, no. Actually,
Maybe
that
not
one
your daughter, but
I
like when
instilled in
Snapchat came
her.
out and we were all using it, we were using it for like two things and two things only.
Yeah, well, they use it instead of texting now, but I did instill into her like you can never undo that. It's there forever and ever. I don't care about Snapchat or anything else. Like if you send that, first of all, like especially at school, I learned this. My sister is an assistant principal at a junior high school, And if a child sends a nude, they have to call the police immediately. They can't even check it and look because it's child pornography and they can't watch it and look at it.
Wow, that's so weird.
And so they have to get the police involved. So it's like they can't even give you a warning or whatever. They have to call the police or they'll lose their jobs.
That's weird. That's weird.
So now you got cops in your business, so don't send your business.
Yeah, fair enough. Do you want to talk about real estate instead though?
I kind of do. I kind of do, but
Yeah.
I want to lead into it this way because people are probably like, what the hell are we doing?
Yeah.
Um, I want to lead into it because you said something about growing up poor. Me too. And you've done really well in your career. And I want to talk about what that means to you because my big thing is creating conscious wealth. And I realize when I talk to people about this that it means something different for everyone. So now I'm just so curious whenever I talk to somebody who's achieved some level of success in their life, what does that mean to you, conscious wealth?
Conscious wealth. Let's see. All right. Well, conscious would be like something I'm aware of. And wealth is whatever you consider it. Um, so are we talking conscious as a collective, like as a group, or are we just talking about my conscious version of what wealth is?
I think your conscious version of what wealth is, like what does that mean for you, right? It could
No.
just be, hey, I just want so much money that I can drive whatever I want to drive. It could be anything you want.
Yeah, no, it's not that though. But it does kind of have y'all ever seen that the movie The Gambler? And there's like John Goodman in it talking about what to do if you get your hands on like $2 million and how to create just like the fuck you. It's just like a great monologue, and if you guys haven't seen it, just go on YouTube and type in like The Gambler fuck you money. um I kind of feel like that's me. Like I'm unhireable. And I am too caught up in the romance of life. I don't know. To me, I think it's way cooler to be a vagabond and like have a taste and culture and cool, weird friends and live in fun, vibrant neighborhoods than it is to live in some fucking 10,000 square foot mansion and be like, yeah, I flew private here and then I got show. I'm like, cool, bro. Like, who are your friends and what does your art collection look like? What do you hang on your walls, bro? What are the books on your bookshelf? And maybe I just grew up reading too many damn beatnik writers when I was a kid. But and I
No,
also,
they missed so many.
for me, the punk rock and hardcore music scene was like really all I cared about when I was younger. It was a very fun, wild existence. And I don't know. I just feel like all of my idols have been like chefs, artists, and like punk rock dudes. None of them have really been billionaires, you know? And it got to the point for me where I just never wanted my family to ever have to go through what I went through because I got into real estate because my childhood home got sold at the foreclosure auction the year after I graduated high school. And I was a line cook at Disney. I thought I was going to be the next Anthony Bourdain. He's been my idol my entire life. And I thought I was going to be a chef. And I was still working in the music industry as well. Nothing big. Like, I'm literally 18 years old. So I'm like touring with bands, fucking around in studios, and cooking food. And next thing I know, these dudes come and bang on my door. And they're like, hey, we need to talk to your parents. I was like, my parents aren't here, but I'm 18. I'm an adult. You can talk to me. And they're like, cool, dude. We just bought your house at the foreclosure auction today. We didn't know people lived here. We need to fucking figure this out. And I was like, oh, okay, maybe I'm not an adult because I,
No
what
idea how to handle that. Yeah.
the fuck do we do, man? And so we raised private capital. They wholesaled us our house back. The house I grew up in was the very first house I ever renovated. We sold it, made a little money, and then I went on and bought 300 or more houses at the same exact foreclosure auction that my childhood home got sold at. So all I wanted was to build a financial fortress that nobody could like knock down the house of cards. And I did that. And that's why I let off the gas so much. That's why I stopped wanting to be in front of the television camera. That's why I stopped. That's why I never got into like guru or coaching. I mean, I do like private consulting, but by no means am I like, for $99 a month, I'll teach you how, like, nah, you're just not going to catch me doing it because I own a portfolio I like. Half of my stuff is owned in land trust, and it, I've become a financial fortress that hopefully can't be penetrated, and I dig that. Because if I want to be out until 4 in the morning and then sleep until noon and then fire up cigars on the back porch and drink champagne with you, I want to do it without having to be like, oh, I should have been posting more on Instagram about wholesaling houses or some shit, you know? Like I just wanted freedom. And I bought my freedom because in America, that's how you got to do it. If you want freedom in America, you either have to be like homeless or a nun or a priest and renounce all your desires, or you have to afford your freedom to buy your way out of the rat race. And I never wanted to be in the rat race. So I just wanted freedom. And we achieved it a long time ago. So now I've just been enjoying life. And to me, that's wealth. Wealth is when you come into my house, you're not going to see a fucking live, laugh, love on any wall, no matter how hard you look, dude. It's real art made by real artists. You want to have a beer at my home at 10 a.m., just open up the fridge, grab one. I'll fire up a smoke with you, dude. Like, let's enjoy life because you never know when it's going to get taken away.